Lake Erie Crushers baseball is in full swing at Fort Front Field in Avon, Ohio. You can bring the whole family out for post-game fireworks every Friday and Saturday, Dollar Dogs on Saturday, and Family Fun Day every Sunday, where kids 12 and under eat for free. Tune in here this Friday for a chance to win a 4-pack of tickets courtesy of the Lorain County Visitors Bureau. Tickets for the entire season at Fort Front Field are on sale now at LakeErieCrushers.com. Jay, welcome in.
Hey, Mike.
Thank you for showing up
going
today.
On in sports?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Not much.
Long weekend?
Yeah, cooking out.
What did I miss? You know how I always say I watch sports because I don't know what's going to happen? And then when I do know what's going to happen, I'm 61 in July. My time is running out. Then I make decisions on how to best use my time. And for the first time in my career, there was a must-watch game for my job that I said I'm not watching. When you know what's going to happen, there's no need to spend those 2.5 hours that you'll never get back, especially when we had a big family deal yesterday, when I could spend it in other ways.
Yeah.
And they did not disappoint. I mean, they delivered exactly what I thought they would, which was...
I tried to tell them. I said, if they get smoked, I said it, but I couldn't follow through with it. I said, if y'all get smoked like this bad after Game 3, I'm not watching Game 4. I did watch parts of Game 4, and it was painful.
Yeah, I'm glad I missed it.
I mean, it was painful, Jay.
I mean, I've read a lot about it. My goodness, they got outscored by double digits in every quarter, except I think the second and third was like 7 and 8, -7 and -8. But the first and fourth, they were outscored by healthy double digits. Legs is traveling. I put a bunch of questions to him, and I said, as you get time, let me know. I asked him thumbnail reactions. Knicks that good, Cavs that bad. Do they break it up? LeBron. And Kenny, I mean, have you guys talked about Kenny? Like, he's gone, right? The good news is tonight's analytical Game 5. And if they win, the series is over.
I said it's 2-2 analytically.
Yeah,
it's
so
2-2.
I mean,
I cannot believe he said that. Why would you say that, man?
I was stunned.
Why?
I think, and I'm not one to call for coaches' jobs.
The question makes it a lot different.
I don't care what the question was.
The question was, you're down 3-0.
Coach, did you win those games analytically? Yeah.
Well, the question was, you're down 3-0. Why do you feel like this team can come back and win a game here?
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
here's a good answer.
It does make it. I'm not. You can't
doesn't
say
make it
it.
any
You
better.
can't say it. But
I know
it does make it different.
And when you frame it with the proper context, you can maybe understand what he was trying to say. There are some things that you realize before you say them. I'm not going to say that because it's going to come off wrong.
Yeah,
that was like 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, things not to say when you're down 0-3. Yeah. Look, I mean, analytically, we're up 2-1.
I mean, honestly, like the lights are too bright has haunted Jarrett for years.
That's his bumper sticker.
This is it.
And, I mean, let's take a vote. I think he's gone by midday.
Hey, man, listen.
Does anybody think he survives?
Game 1 was the nail in the coffin.
I agree with that. He lost it when they lost the 22-point lead. Does he survive this?
I think he's in trouble. Yeah, I think he's in trouble.
You're the Kenny advocate, Mike. Right now it's 3-0. He's gone.
Yeah, I mean, I like Kenny a lot, but it's a lot easier to change a head coach than it is to change the most expensive
well, look at New
roster
York.
in basketball.
I mean, New York took a lot of heat last year when they fired Tibbs.
Yep.
Jay,
a lot of heat. And guess what? It worked.
Jay, at one point in time, you were an emotional Browns, Cavs, Guardians fan, Indians fan.
I was.
Yes. As you spoke, it said the beatings get bigger. It takes a little bit more. And every time it happens, you get less and less more reactive. But I have to say, the thing that really killed me was the chants of all the New York Knicks fans there. The Let's Go Knicks, the Brunson MVP, it had to be embarrassing for Dan Gilbert to be on a stage where not only were the Knicks fans high-fiving and laughing, the halftime show was just all about they put a graphic up and said the word quit actually is a synonym for Cavaliers. Do you know how devastating that is?
Well, the worst thing you can say about an athlete is they quit. I think. That's what gets the hot button for any athlete is to question their desire.
Yeah.
And, I don't even think you have to question the Cavs' desire. It was front and center for everyone to see. And I've heard a lot of talk about they had 2 Game 7s. There have been teams that have won NBA championships that will push to Game 7s prior to the finals.
OKC.
And now, so here's I wish we had legs. I really do, because he is really good on what I'm going to throw out here. And I know that this might be 30,000-foot view, but I do think that I did not think that the Knicks was a team that could win an NBA championship. I just didn't think that they were that kind of team. I would still bet on the winner of the West. However, this Knicks team can absolutely win the NBA championship.
Yeah.
So I do feel like I don't want to say let's wait and see before we bury the Cavs. We've had the eulogy. They're dead. They're buried. It's over. And they should be. But are they that far away? Like, if the Knicks go lose 4-1, 4-2, 4-3, it makes the Cavs look even further away from where they want to go. However, if the Knicks go boat race OKC, then we have to have, I think, a little pullback and a reexamination of today's question: just how far away are the Cavs from a championship? As things look right now, I've seen, and I know you have too, I've seen metrics over the last 3 days that basically pull no punches. They say that they're not calling the Knicks the greatest team ever.
It's the best 10-game stretch in the history of the
There are
franchise.
metrics that tell you that no team has ever been as good as the Knicks have been in the last 10. I think that's a product of the East being as bad as it is. I think the East is so down that there are 3 or 4 teams from the West that could have won the Eastern Conference Finals, or at least made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. So I don't know yet what reality is. Are the Knicks historically great? We'll find out. But the metrics currently tell us that the Knicks are on a heater that no team has ever been on before. They went 8-0 in the month of May.
They haven't lost a playoff game in over a month. Their last
And
playoff loss was April 23rd.
And they've got 2 playoff losses, both by a point.
Yep.
Now-
So it's one of 2 things. Knicks team historically great, Eastern Conference historically awful. And we'll find out in the next couple of weeks.
I'll give Mike Brown credit. There's a couple of things that he did, and I'm going to give him specific credit for this. Mike Brown made the decision that they're going to get Jalen Brunson off the rock. They're not going to let Jalen Brunson just pound and pound and pound. Now, in crunch time, they'll give him the ball and let him create, because that's their closer. But when you watch, the Knicks were an ISO-heavy team most of last year, half parts of this year. But now, look at the ball movement.
I know.
Shamit. Bridges won't miss. Cat moving the ball. They put Cat at the elbow and let him create from the high post.
They've got shot makers.
Ananobi was hitting. Josh Hart won you a game by himself. You got guys coming off the bench, and then you got the closer in Brunson. And on top of this, McNuggets, I like the way the Knicks really defensively covered the Cavaliers. They stopped all that switching. They switched sometime, but what they did is say, listen, your job, we don't think that they're good enough to beat us one-on-one. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to recover, and we're going to stay on our guys. We're not going to do a bunch of switching and getting matchups. And they stayed home for the most part and made them dribble and shoot contested shots. You watch the Cavs, a lot of dribbling in one spot with Harden and Mitchell. Harden looked like he couldn't get past anybody after one move. And listen, Donovan Mitchell, he said he wasn't hurt, Jason. But I got to figure it out. Either you wasn't hurt or you lost a step. Which one is it going to be?
Donovan was alarming in this entire postseason. He had moments, he had flashes.
Right.
Where but the fact that they are anxious to hand a $270 million extension in front of him in a few weeks here, yeah, he didn't play like a player worthy of a $270 million extension throughout these playoffs. But they are boxed into a spot where they don't have any other choice. Like this is what's going to happen. But Jay, to your point earlier, I'm trying to keep the year straight on this. The Heat lost in the conference finals, and then the following year made the NBA finals.
Yeah.
The Pacers lost in the conference finals. The following year made the NBA finals.
Right.
The Knicks lost in the conference finals last year. Now
The Celtics did too in that same stretch.
The Celtics did
five
too.
straight
Yeah, no, it
conference
happens a lot.
finals
I mean, the
teams.
progression, if you look at the Cavs are right on target on their progressive chart. They made the playoffs, bounced in the first round. First the play-ins. Then they made it to the first round and lost, made it to the second round and lost, made it to the third round and lost. Donovan was pretty emphatic. I listened to his entire news conference this morning. He was pretty emphatic in postgame that he loves being here. He will be back.
Yeah.
And there is another gear that this team collectively can take. Most of it was not in the like in game. It was preparation, commitment. He mentioned nutrition. He mentioned focus. The turnovers to me. Oh, holy cow!
What is that then?
I can't believe
what
it.
is that? Like it was embarrassing to hear professional players, Udonis Haslem, Dirk Nowitzki, everybody who covers these games. They're like, what are you guys doing? The careless nature that you're throwing cross-court passes, pocket passes in the lane with 4 or 5 guys around. It's crunch time, and it just seemed no care for the basketball. Didn't value it. I didn't understand the laissez-faire nature of it.
And I didn't either, G. And then Don said after the game, well, you learned from that, and now we know. He said that a couple times. He said, well, just like his point was we were stretched to game 7s, and that's a bad idea, and now we know. Well, wait, they didn't learn that last year and the year before? Like,
right.
We keep having to learn these lessons one at a time. That's just not how it goes. The Knicks, you're right, the Knicks lost in the conference finals. They win the conference finals. Does that mean that this? I don't see a world as constituted without making a major upgrade how this Cavs team next year comes back and wins in the conference finals. They weren't close. They were boat raced, embarrassed. They quit. Every adjective you want to use applies here. Okay, technically they made the conference finals. They didn't play in the conference finals.